everybody, it's Shelby from Staying Books, and it is time for another Top 5 Wednesday. If you are unfamiliar with Top 5 Wednesday, I will leave the link for the Goodreads group down below. It is run by Sam from Thoughts on Tomes, and this week's topic is favorite publishers. So this was a really interesting topic because I've never really given a lot of thought to who actually published the books I read, because, you know, I usually just go to Amazon, order whatever I want to read, and Amazon is my go-to spot. So it was kind of interesting to go and look into who actually published what books, and the craziest part to me is how many different quote-unquote publishing companies are all subsidiaries of one parent company. So I tried to, in my list, narrow things down to the parent company and what are the top parent companies that I read through. What I've done with my list is I have split it into still 5, but I have picked 2 publishers because I do read a lot of romance, and then 3 mainstream publishers that are a mix of the other genres and such that I read. So I'm going to do my mainstream publishers first because they have the most variety and are the hardest to decide which 3 do I read the most of. I will give an honorable mention here to St. Martin's Press because I do read a lot of books from them, but they tend to come from 2 authors that I read pretty much everything that they produce, versus the 3 that I did decide on to utilize as my favorite publishers. I read a lot more diversely within the authors that are published by them. So first up at number 5, I'm going to go with Simon & Schuster. They have published a lot of different authors that I read. Usually, though, when I'm reading under Simon & Schuster, I am reading under their pocketbooks category. Right here, I've got Gina Showalter, Cresley Cole, Jane Feather, Sherilyn Kenyon, all of which are published under some version of Pocket Star books. Either Pocket Star or Pocket Books, which are apparently Simon & Schuster owned. My number 4 this week is going to be Harper Collins. With Harper Collins, I have a number of their subsidiaries covered. HQN, which is a variation of Harlequin, and I have a ton of Harlequin books and HQN publishing books. Gina Showalter published a number of her books under HQN. Avon. I have a ton of Avon books spread throughout my shelves. Kathleen Woodweiss is one of my favorite authors. I love Shauna. It's one of my favorite all-time books. And you can look behind me and just see Lindsay Sands, all of her Avon books, which I pulled one of hers here. This is their paranormal. So Avon is spread throughout my shelves in a multitude of different places. So definitely I read more Harper Collins probably than Simon & Schuster, but the number 1 or number 3 on my list, because I'm doing the regular publishers first, number 1 publishing house that I read the most of, and I would have had no idea if I hadn't looked into how many different subsidiaries this company owns, is Penguin Random House. Now, did I find a book straight up that was Penguin Random House on my shelves? No, but I found about 15 different subsidiaries everywhere. So first up, let's just go, they own Signet. And I have Signet Paranormal with Christine Dodd or Jessica Anderson or, J.R. Ward, originally published under Signet. And then Joe Beverly. I have a lot of historicals that were published under Signet Historical. But Penguin Random House also owns Rock Publishing, which does Anne Bishop, and I love her books. They own Berkeley Publishing, Angela Knight, and a ton of other people that I have books by Berkeley. Ace Fantasy, Patricia Biggs, Penguin. Joe Fiction, which did a lot of Nora Roberts' books and a ton of other books across my shelves, owned by Penguin. Oh, see? Joe, Paranormal, Christine Feehan, Penguin. My Anne McCaffrey's, Del Rey. A lot of my original fantasy and sci-fi is published by Del Rey Publishing, which is owned by Penguin Random House. As is Daw Fantasy. So Mercedes Lackey, also favorite fantasy novels, owned by Penguin Random House. I could go through probably half my shelves and they would be owned in some subsidiary section of Penguin Random House. So I was really, really surprised by this. I did not realize how much of my shelves were Penguin Random House. So as for my 2 romance publishers, both of these publishers are strictly LGBTQ. They do not publish any mainstream fiction other than their LGBTQ titles. So I went with both of these just because they do focus on such a narrow genre list and give a little recognition to them. I will give an honorable mention here to Amazon Kindle Publishing because a lot of the romance authors I read are self-published and they do publish a lot through their Kindle publishing. But as far as like traditional publishers go, the two that I would pick would be, number 2 would be Riptide Publishing. They do publish a lot of authors that I read a lot of: Garrett Lee, Kate Sherwood, Amy Lane. They are a boutique publishing house, and they're really, really great. They are one of the only 2 publishers that I will go to their site to actually buy books off of them directly. But the number 1 romance publisher, everybody in romance knows who it is, and there is no question they are the only other site that I will buy regularly from on their own, and that is Dreamspinner Press and their subsidiaries. They have started to split off and have their different lines of books. So DSP Publications is their paranormal line. They have their imprints line. They do have a bunch of subsidiary lines underneath the Dreamspinner Press overarching company, and that is a recent trend because they have grown to be such a big publishing house within the romance publishing industry. They are incredibly well known. Every major author has books with them. Rise Ford, Andrea Speed, Amy Lane, Marie Calms, L.A. Witt, Andrew Gray, Eric Arvin, Charlie Cochet. I mean, I could go on and on with the number of people who have been published under some variation, whether it's DSP Publications, Harmony Inc., somewhere in their Dreamspinner Press has been involved in their careers. So as far as romance goes, Dreamspinner Press is the biggest, largest publisher within that narrow community. They have grown over the years and have become incredibly well known and well respected for the work that they do. That is my fun top 5 publishers. Again, that would be Simon & Schuster, Harper Collins, Penguin Books, and then my 2 romance specific publishers, Riptide and Dreamspinner Press. Again, my honorable mentions to this list would be St. Martin's Press. I do buy a lot from them. And as far as the books go, Kindle Direct Publishing through Amazon, I would say that a lot of romance authors are still self-published, and Kindle is a great way for them to do that. I hope you enjoyed my Top 5 Wednesday. Give this video a like, subscribe, let me know what you think are there publishers that I should check out. Are these ones that you guys are also familiar with? Are you as surprised as I am about how many subsidiary companies are owned by the same parent company? I definitely did not realize Penguin had as many as it does. Let me know what you think. I look forward to hearing from you. Have a great day. Bye!